Welcome to part 2 of our Civil War episode here on Cerebri Learning. Today we'll be covering the second half of the war, as well as the early effects and public reactions to it. The year was 1863, and it was one of the most eventful years of the war. The year prior, Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, which legally freed every slave in the U.S. However, it unfortunately didn't take effect in much of the South for a few years. Another big event was not military-based, but social. Massive draft riots took place in New York. In total, 119 died, many of whom were African Americans who were lynched by mobs. Another important event of the year was the South's new strategy of trying to invade the North through Pennsylvania. The only battle that eventually occurred there was the biggest and most famous battle of the war, the Battle of Gettysburg. It took place over 3 days in July, and it halted the Confederate invasion instantly. This basically ended all hopes for long-term Confederate independence. Later that year, Lincoln gave his famous Gettysburg Address. Here's just a small part at the beginning. 7 years ago, our father brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. The following year of 1864 saw multiple clashes between the now leader of the Union Army, Ulysses S. Grant, and the leader of the Confederate Army, Robert E. Lee. The year also saw a big challenge to Lincoln, the election. His opponent was George McClellan, former head Union general. The popular vote count was close, with Lincoln winning with about 400,000 votes, but he won the popular vote by a landslide, 212 to 21. The year 1865 saw the final invasion of Virginia and the Battle of Appomattox. It was the last battle of the war, and its end saw the Confederacy's surrender and the end of the war. However, just days after, while he was watching a play at Ford's Theater, President Lincoln was assassinated by Confederate sympathizer John Wilkes Booth. Booth was later killed by soldiers. So what was the immediate aftermath? Well, many prominent Confederate leaders, such as Jefferson Davis, were arrested, but most weren't punished too severely, for fear of further dividing the nation. Slavery was abolished in practice in the former Confederacy, and the 13th Amendment had already more formally done so constitutionally. The 14th Amendment addition also gave people who were born in America citizenship, including slaves who were denied that right before. The 15th Amendment gave men of any color the right to vote. However, women still could not, and it would be another 50 years until they got the right to. To rebuild the South, they started the process known as Reconstruction, which we'll cover in our next video. We here at Cerebri Learning would like to thank you for watching this video. And if you like this, please check out some of our other videos, like our physics series. The next part of the American History series will be about Reconstruction and the impeachment of Andrew Johnson. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and be on the lookout for future series. Our full bibliography will also be in the description down below, and we've included some other useful resources for those of you who would like to learn more.